and welcome to a quick overview of Voices of Prague version 1.5, which runs on UVI workstation now, and it's going to be me, Andre, and
me, Alex, the graphic designer.
Yeah, I'm sort of tired today, so if I'm cutting out or bubbling on, just excuse me please. And we're going to first sing something in English.
Request we get quite often, how does the library handle English? So Andre's going to have a little go at that.
Yeah, I'm going to try to play it live, and I'm a rubbish pianist. I'm open about that, so you know. No, I am rubbish. So let's give it a shot. Right, guys, this was played live, and there was actually, as you can hear, the words most of the time sounded very connected, and that is because I was using sustain pedal to play it, so I can keep moving my hand while having the sustain pedal down. And there was one point where I lifted the sustain pedal in library, I think.
Yeah, the second time round. Yeah.
And that's actually what you do when you want staccatos or separate the words and things like that. But in this time, it was my clumsy foot. So, if I was to play just one more time and show you without clumsy foot, that. And those are the differences, because if I now played without the sustain pedal, without the word tightening, which wasn't in the version 1, which is introduced in version 1.5, it does sound quite different. And it's most dominant on the steps where you've got no end consonant, because there is nothing to tide over there, or there wasn't in the version 1. And that's when you should use the sustain pedal. So again, with the sustain pedal this time. And I'm actually releasing the sustain pedal when I do have end consonants. So I'm not using the sustain pedal there, because I want it to be nice and pronounced. I want the end consonants to come through. And we've already done everything else by the script, so it knows how the end consonants should be pronounced for you. So,
This is massively simpler to use than the previous version.
It's massively simpler pretty much than almost any other choir out there. We went extra length to make this very easy for you guys, so you can concentrate on writing, because we know that you don't have loads of time on, physically tinkering words. I mean, that's not what a choir library should be about.
Well, I mean, as you can see, in terms of the GUI here, especially compared to those who've used the previous version, is all the voices are now on one page. So your sopranos, your altos, your tenors, your basses, all controlled from one screen, which is called the libretto engine. As Andre's going to show you now, he's going to play the sopranos and altos here.
Yeah, I'm just going to try, so you hear the ladies as well. Again, the difference with the sustain and without. Yeah. So without sustain first. Now with the sustain pedal. can hear that the syllables nicely connected this time. And I'm gonna leave it back to Alex this time because he's gonna talk about all the exciting graphic stuff. Usability.
Yeah. So of course, now as we have all the voices on one page, you can now copy and paste what you've written between each voice, as Andre will kindly demonstrate for me here while I'm nattering away.
If you can actually type in the number 3,
there you go.
so we can sort of copy and paste. So I'm gonna paste it this time onto tenors. So there was no need to retype.
Right. So this is something that wasn't available on the previous version because, of course, those of you who use the old one remember it was 4 separate pages for the soprano, alto, tenor, bass, SATB. Also on here you probably saw Andre dropped in a preset as well, so we have a number of words for you there to quickly drop in on the fly. So if you can't think of any lyrics, just chuck them in there for quick mock-ups. But ultimately it's
just to get you started.
It's a word creation library, so you're unlimited. Why tie yourself down to presets? So there's a good little selection on there. As you can see there, we've also got the page on the right there. So it's actually unlimited pages now, unlimited steps.
Yep.
There's 8 steps per page, and you can go. The sky's the limit, really, isn't it?
If you want to go and do Wagner's Ring,
time's over.
please feel free. What we've done for you as well is that you can now decide which voice you're following, which voice group. So it changes pages for you by using the magnifying glass. The magnifying glass is effectively like a follow sign.
Yeah, so if you want to just follow simply where the sopranos are through the pages, it will always keep track of what you're playing on sopranos. You can follow the altos at the same time if you wish to, and again it will just jump back and forth between the pages as to what note's being played at that time.
Yeah.
You can try all 4 if you can follow pages flickering at the speed of light, depending on how fast you're playing. Probably 2's the max I'd really use. Giving yourself a headache.
Sure. I mean, you can now add and remove step.
This is that was something that everybody was asking for. If you go back on there. On the old version, if you typed out a massive set of phrases and then you wanted to add something at the beginning or delete something, you had to start from scratch. It was driving people nuts. So we've managed.
I'm not sure it was driving them nuts, but it required careful planning.
Driving me nuts. So now you can put the plus and minus step in anywhere you want, and you can paste words in as well, and move everything along to fit those words in. So
this is another function we've managed to introduce in the UVI because we've managed to introduce the unlimited steps. If you got limited steps, it's never gonna work properly. So this was quite some reason. Now I'm actually gonna show the new polylegato as well, because in the version 1 you had to overlay, and in here you use a sustain pedal for polylegato to hold your notes. So as you can see, I was lifting my fingers on the bottom and just holding the sustain pedal, and you can actually decide as well which note is the divisi 1, which note is the divisi 2, and which note is divisi 3 as you play live. It's basically whichever one you press first in the chord is then the group number 1, 2 and 3. So in the order in which you press them, that's the order of the groups, and that way you can do divisi interchanges from divisi 1 to divisi 3 becomes divisi 1, etc. We're gonna do another video about that. So Alex is already
before you get tongue-tied.
Yes. I'm the technical guy in this. So
before you go off on one, this is just an overview. It's trying to be
simple.
Short. So we've got 3 screens in total then. So this is a libretto engine where you do all your typing, probably the main screen you'll be
all
in
the words
most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got the mixer page, which is pretty self-explanatory. You've got your volumes, your panning, your width.
Yeah.
You can go in a bit about the buttons on there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing to mention here is this is where you control the polylegato, which of course is MIDI assignable. So to turn it on and off, you will use a MIDI CC.
I think most things in this are MIDI assignable.
Yeah, pretty much all of them. Yeah. The whole idea behind this library is that you can control it literally on the fly, so it's a fast workflow. This is intended that you get a gig, you need lyrics, well, you get it done overnight, or you've got a few hours to do it. Then now you can with this library, or at least once you get used to it, you can. I mean, of course, we don't expect that you open it and you will be a lyrical guru, but I mean, it is very simple to use. And very effective in that as well. Now you can also remove and add your microphone positions. Now it just loaded the page back. You will actually get a loading thing appearing as well, but we don't get it here because we're doing a screencast and our computer is really not happy with us recording, you know, the sound and the picture and all that on one hard drive, which is also running the system.
Anyway, so we had the mixer screen, we've got the libretto engine. Now to the expert settings.
This is really going to be a video of its own on this, because this is the page where you tinker, tweak and adjust, and I'll simply fly through very quickly. You can now adjust envelopes for each individual vowel or consonant per voice group. Now that means that you really get the freedom to do a lot, but we have worked very hard. I think it's fair to say.
You worked very hard, I watched.
Yeah, you worked. I've worked many hours trying to get them to sound right, and you know, you might want to change the attack, of course. You might want to change the volume, of course. So the blend is ideal for your language, because every language is different. I mean, for example, I find English to be rather wobbly.
Great, just insult the English-speaking language.
It's unpredictable. Okay, English is unpredictable. Same word, spelled with slight changes, suddenly sounds completely different, and what's happening in the mouth is completely different. So it is. You have to be really conscious of how you're building your words. While when you do, for example, Latin or Russian or Slavonic, it is simpler to build the words. However, that's why we went so far to show as well that this can sing English now, but you have to think in phonetic pronunciation. You can't think that you will write, you know, Y as you would in English. You need to write W, R, Y, because that's how it's pronounced, is Y. So. And that is exactly how you have to think. Now, the last thing to mention as well is that the dynamic Modwheel is also used to tighten sort of the loudness of the consonants, because you can actually, as you're decreasing the Modwheel, it will actually make the consonant at the end slightly quieter. So if I was to show, or I can make it really stand out if I want to. So, you know, the Modwheel is there to assist you for the final, literally touches in your mix. But most of the time, as long as you stick to you know, the end pronunciation and rather make the end consonant to come down slightly rather than up, straightforward. So I can play it again live. And why, yeah. Why am I doing that? Slightly lost. It's been a very long day on our end.
Why are we doing this? We're on 14 minutes. Let's wrap this up now.
Getting the product ready.
So have we covered everything? So we've done libretto, the mixer, you've done the settings. We've of course got the manual, so you can tinker away at that and have a look into more detail. There's a list on there of how the syllables are pronounced, as well as a guide. We will always be improving that and adding to it for you.
There is a phonetic guide, and what we'll do as well is we're sort of searching at the moment which forum to use for this, but we will start a forum blog somewhere as well, where people can add their best practices on how they build their words, because you know there is 1001 ways sometimes to build one word, and because what we allow is a consonant, vowel, consonant, and double consonants, which we have on the bottom here, count as one. It opens up a lot of options on how to word build and or how to build words, and ultimately that is the key that I think most people will sort of tinker with at the beginning.
Yeah, and it'll be good to have feedback and people sharing how they've built their words and doing examples, and ultimately we'll be able to compile this into a list to help others use the library. But yeah, that's. I
mean, the guys who had the demo version to write the demos for us, they've really had very short period of time, and they've managed to get accustomed to this library very fast. And as they said, primarily they've managed to work really fast, which is exactly what we aimed for. So to sum up the overview, I mean, Voices of Prague is a fast, streamlined, simple choral library which does heck of a lot.
Yeah.
You can build words, you can have complex polylegato played live pretty much. copy paste, unlimited, and bring your inner scripting, your writing capabilities out. Write the words.
That's about it for us now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we've covered everything. There will be more videos following this.
Yes.
Eventually, I mean,
next week.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a look at it and do more videos. But for now, this is it, guys. And thank you very much.
Thanks for sticking with us for the whole 16 minutes.
Well, it's actually slightly less. I think at the beginning I had a fly which I was fighting with in the room, so I'm gonna have to cut the fly out. Okay. For any questions, guys, contact us on our website in contact support, or contact it is, isn't it? Contact box in www.virharmonic.com, and I hope you enjoy this quick overview.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.